All right, so moving on from there, let's talk about a show that I am so freaking excited about. I just learned that you have not seen the source material. I hope you remedy that soon.
I'm so ashamed, and I feel like I'm going to get yelled at a lot because it is a big gap in my.
But it's kind of it's an understandable one. We're talking about Westworld,
yes.
Which is going to be, well, I shouldn't say an HBO series yet because it's only a pilot, but it is one of those ones where you're like, they're not going to pick this up at this point. Like,
I mean, the amount
something would have to go really wrong, right?
It would really have to be a total disaster because the amount of money that they're pouring into it, the talent that's attached to it, like if it doesn't go, then it was like the world's biggest disaster.
Right. Something really. I mean, again, it does happen. I mean, I was so sure Beverly Hills Cop was going to happen.
So was I.
And it didn't. But again, this is even more, seems like, the elements they're putting together. So we talked about it a little bit in the past. There's just been a flood of casting. So Westworld, HBO TV version of the Michael Crichton movie. And gosh, the cast now, let's do the rundown. Anthony Hopkins, James Marsden, Evan Rachel Wood, Jeffrey Wright, Thandie Newton, Rodrigo Santoro, Ed Harris, Shannon Woodward, a bunch of other people. It's pretty amazing. Like, Miranda Otto, she just recently joined as well.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is, like, you don't have this kind of talent attached. It's not coming from
Hopkins alone.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have this kind of talent amassed. You don't have,
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan Nolan directing the pilot. You don't have all of this going on. If it would really, like, it's going, I'll bet you right now it's going to series.
Well, I mean, I guess I'll bet you too, even though I agree. So I don't know how that works.
It's a really lame bet.
It's
not how that works at all.
Worst bet ever. But so hopefully we both win, or we're both losing. And so, again, if you do, and I don't fault you really for that gap because it's an easy gap to have. The only reason I first saw Westworld was when I was my semester in Europe in college. We had like three English language channels, and one night it was on TV, and we were all bored, and we all decided to watch Westworld, and then I loved it.
And then you loved it, and you owned it, and you watched it 200 times.
This is everything you just said is the truth.
Everything I said is the truth. It's funny because I was just looking at like the list of, because there's a lot of movies being made into TV shows right now. And I was just like, let me look at a list. It's a massive list. Stuff you would not even think about. Like, I forgot the Beetlejuice cartoon and like the Pink. There's just a million different things. Police Academy, people.
Well, we'll talk later about some of the other ones. But yeah, like Westworld specifically, it's a really cool concept. Yes, it's basically the same concept of Jurassic Park, although this came first. So that's the big thing people should keep in mind. Crichton, if he ripped himself off, this was the source material as far as futuristic theme park, state-of-the-art, amazing things no one's ever seen before, and then it all goes horribly wrong and turns on them because Michael Crichton hated theme parks, apparently. But this is robots that are built to put you in a immersive reality of being in the Wild West.
Well, they're the perfect... A theme park is like the creepy little girl. You know what I mean? That trope, in the sense of like it's the perfect thing to subvert because it's meant to be joyous and innocent. So it's so fun to just pollute it and make it terrifying and awful and deadly. Yeah,
and the whole thing is that the robots, you interact with them, and that means in the movie. Again, we'll see how much it matches. I think it will match it and go further because it's HBO. Because in the movie, there are prostitute robots you can sleep with, and then there are robots that show up just as like someone to get in a gunfight with you to give you the experience of being able to win a gunfight. And of course, then it's like, well, what happens if those robots go against their programming and won't lose?
Yeah.
And even with a lot of the casting, they've been playing coy on the descriptions of like who is actually a robot or not. Like, I will say right now, it sounds like Evan Rachel Wood is probably a robot who doesn't realize it, because it basically says like she's a girl from the Midwest who's about to discover a secret about herself or something.
Yeah.
Because it probably, if it's an ongoing TV show, I'm sure it will go into those ideas of identity and
I'm sure it'll be
whatnot.
like in the first season or so of Battlestar, where they didn't always know, and we didn't know definitely who was the Cylon and who wasn't.
Yeah.
Or I guess by the end of the first season, we pretty much knew.
They had some twists.
A few surprises.
They had the final four. Don't forget that. Came in later.
I
And can I say first? I mean, of course, Hopkins. This is amazing that he's going to do this show because Hopkins is doing a show. Evan Rachel Wood is great. Jeffrey Wright is great. But I love James Marsden, and I've been like,
too.
He needs his moment. Not that he hasn't had a successful career that most actors would kill for, but as far as like there's the joke that James Marsden is cast as the guy that ends up being left for the other guy in the movie, and whatnot, and even in X-Men where Jean chooses him in X-Men 2, then in X-Men 3 just gets killed on, is off screen pretty much.
Yeah, I love him too, and I agree. He has had an amazing career, but he's always been on the cusp of like really blowing up, and it's not quite happened for him. I'm not sure why. Maybe he doesn't. I mean, I would not say no to that life.
No, not at all. And I think he's impressed people by showing a sense of humor more in recent years. I think Enchanted gave people a different side of him, and then even 30 Rock, those episodes. But yeah, I'm really excited that he's in this, and because he was rumored but not confirmed for a while Hopkins.
Do you think he's a robot?
I don't know. Because again, we're trying. Me and Jim were talking about the fact that how faithful a remake. Of course, it's going to have to be completely different because it's not a 2-hour movie. It's an ongoing TV show. But how much is the template match? Because the movie is about two best friends, played by Richard Benjamin and James Brolin, going here, like paying money to go there, and then what happens when they're there when the robots turn on them. So it sounds like Marsden could be playing kind of again, it's probably not the same character names, but kind of that guy, but maybe not. Like maybe he is a robot. So that's the question. And there's the movie played a little fast and loose as far as having fun with your expectations on who's the true hero of the movie and whatnot. So there could be curveballs. We named all these big stars, and one of them could die really quickly. I think also because that's what happens in cool serialized dramas these days.
Any of them are up for grabs.
Yeah. And because some of them, I'm like, even scheduling wise, I'm like, are these people free? But because even I'll say it right now, Thandie Newton was crazy that she got cast in this on the heels of Rogue. Her direct TV show just got renewed for 2 seasons.
Right.
Within a week of that, she also got cast in Westworld. Makes you wonder,
how long she's actually going to last on the
But
series.
again, maybe they're both short seasons. Maybe they can work it out. We'll see. But yeah, so Abrams producing, Jonathan Nolan, who the creator of course, he wrote the Dark Knight movies, but then he created Person of Interest, which is such a cool show. You should read the feature on IGN about why it's such a cool show. Just too many cool elements on this one.
Yeah.
They got to do it.
They're going to do it, and we're going to love it. And then we're all going to die in the robot apocalypse.
All your predictions do end with a lot of death this week.